Aha, yes, here we go. So this is a box envelope die set. So that's like making envelopes, boxes in envelope sizes, just fatter envelopes really. And hex panel die set, landscape card die set, portrait card die set, square panel die set, and an A2 envelope die set. I like that, that looks cute. So I'm not going to do anything spectacular today, but for you, those of you out there who struggle to make cards and envelopes, die sets could be the way to go for you, because you basically just get a piece of card, put the dies on, run it through your machine, and you don't have to worry about scoring and cutting or doing any of that yourself. So we have the portrait card set, A2 card set. I think we call them A6 in England, I'm sure. So there's the landscape card die set as well. So the box up, that I think that would be more for really thick cards like 3D cards. So I think I'll use this, and perhaps that, I have a little bit of an idea about that, and the portrait card die set. So I'm going to put the rest to one side, and I'm going to use these. I haven't had the practice with these, this is the first I've seen of them, so we shall see how it goes. Let me see this one first, because I have a little bit of an idea of what to do with this. So A2, so the size for this, so it cuts out the panel, and you can cut out the middle as well. So I imagine you would have to poke all of these out. So let's have a look. So the entire size is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this is the 250 GSR cardstock. So that's going to be the panel. So what I think I'll do is I think I'll cut that out first, because I have a little bit of an idea what to do next. I'm going to put this through my big shot, cut this out, and then I'll be back. Of course, you could cut this out in any colour cardstock you like. You could use a pattern cardstock, whatever you wanted. I've just used normal white. I'll put these back and then come back and make the card. What I'm going to do is just a little bit of blending on here, nothing major. I'm just going to use some Stampin' Up! Inks. This one is Pool Party, one of my favourite colours. I love it. I'll get this down there just to save the clean up. And it's just going to be a little bit of light blending, it's not going to be anything much. I still have some green on here up the last time, but that doesn't matter. Just some light blending, nothing fancy. There are a couple of ways you can use this. I'm going to show you one of them. To one side, put the inks away. So I'm going to start off in the same way. Put that there. I'm going to put this inside. Fairly centred, just do your best. It's only for this video, so I'm not going to cry about it if it's not centred properly. And I'm going to put it through my big shot again. It hasn't put through very well at all. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to put it in the middle, and then I'm going to run it backwards and forwards a few times. going to waste card stock. But it is thick card. I should perhaps use thinner card. I'll try this one more time. That seems to be a little bit better. Yeah, so I put it through about 4 times. I didn't have to use a shim or anything. I just put it in the centre and then put it through 4 times, and it seems to have worked okay. So they can go to one side for use later. I'll just clear all this away and then get on with it. Well, as you can see, there are still 1 or 2 that haven't quite cut through, which is a shame. Perhaps the cutting plates on my Big Shot need replacing, or perhaps the cardstock is just a bit too thick. Maybe a 200 GSM or lower might have been better. But there weren't many to pull out there. Okay, so that's worked out okay. So what we can do now is take the card that you blended your ink onto, and we're just going to stick that down on there. You see what I mean? It doesn't really matter what your ink blending's like because it's going to look nice anyway. So the only thing I wished I'd done was cut out using a thinner cardstock and perhaps on some sticky sheets. But never mind, there is a way to do it. If you wanted to do it, if you wanted to glue this, you could cut up a kitchen sponge, put a load of glue on maybe a rubber mat or whatever, dip it in and dip it all over here, and then you can affix it to the card. But I'm just going to try my best with the glue that I have. There are quite a few ways to stick these down, but just bear with me while I get this done. I'm not going to go mad. I'm not going to do all of it because I'll be on forever. Like I say, there are different ways to glue down intricate pieces like this. You could even use your glue runner if you wanted to. But that's what it would look like anyway. So pretend that's all stuck down nicely. And to make the actual card base, better put this away because I'll lose it. Now we can take out the card set, the card make and die set. I suppose you could make, using these, you could make a shaker card. That's a project for another day. I'm going to find a thick piece of card and put this through, and then we're going to have a look at some decorations. But to be honest, we're not really going to need the decorating. I'll keep one out to use for a sentiment, I think. Because would that make a nice sentiment, perhaps? I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those yet. I'll put those to one side because this is the one I'm mostly interested in. I should get out some card and put this through Big Shot. Right, so let's hope this is cut out. I put it through twice, like forward and back, so yeah, that's cut out nicely. Just be careful when you take off your low-tack tape. Now it's going to be the A2 card. One side. I'll probably use that spare piece for cutting up sentiments and things like that. Right, okay. So you can see that hasn't cut down the middle there, it's just scored. Which is good, isn't it? So you can just fold that over like that and you get a perfect little card. I like that. Well, that seems to me faster than cutting and measuring. So then you would take, oh look at that, what have I done there? Anyway, ignoring that, then you would fit this onto the front of your card and then we can decorate it how we like. just make sure it's on properly. And just put something heavy on it and leave it to dry for a few minutes. Right, this is the envelope die set, and it looks really pretty from what I can see. I probably won't bother with all of the fol-de-lol, just to see how it goes on making the envelope, because obviously I've never used this before, it's brand new. So obviously this is to make the envelope. I imagine this is to make possibly a liner, maybe. But what I wasn't expecting, another one, are these little border dies. So when we've cut out the envelope, we can put it through again and get a nice little border going. I think I'll do that actually. Quite like it. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's a little postage stamp. Isn't that cute? I won't use that today, but I'll definitely keep that in mind for later. I like that idea. That's really sweet. I'm not going to bother with the liner. I'm just going to make sure that this envelope is going to fit the card that I've just made. And I definitely do want to use that border die. Okay, I'll just get out the paper that I normally use for envelopes. Anyone who's watched my envelope making videos will know that I always use this cardstock from the works. It is only £1 for 30 sheets and it lasts and lasts. It's really good. And it's thin enough, it makes great envelopes because it is thin. And it's good for when I'm doing my practice videos as well. Or my practice projects for my videos. So, is this going to fit on the A4? It is just going to fit on this A4 card. Fabulous. Just stick that down. I'm going to put this through my big shot and then I'll be back. So just a note, you are going to need a large die cutting machine. Your mediums, your middies, your small, they're obviously not going to cut it because you're going to need an A4 or letter size piece of card to make this envelope. So I use my Sizzix Big Shot Plus. I swear by it. I always leave a link to it in all of my descriptions because it's just amazing. It's massive and it does everything so well. Oh, it is heavy though. Right. So now we have to, where's my phone folder? Now we have to fold and score everything because have you noticed that it's cut around the edge but it's scored inside the envelope. So before I go any further with this, I don't know why I put my big shot away because I need it again. Before I go any further with this, I want to cut out the border. I'm going to have to be very careful here. Okay, just to make sure that it cuts out everything. Let's see whether that's cut properly or not. Yep, it has. Why doesn't that look like... Was I supposed to cut this out and then put it on? Oh, I was. What am I like? Supposed to go on the outside, isn't it? Now that just looks like a hot mess. I wonder if I can salvage it, but no, I can't. Right, I have an idea. I'm gonna pause the video there. I'm gonna do this again, and I'm gonna come back. So this has been one of those video sessions that I wished I'd never started. Honestly, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. So I thought I'd film the last part of the video, and I obviously haven't because it's nowhere to be found. All I can think of is that I've clicked photo instead of video and then just been sat talking to myself for 10 minutes. But basically I finally cut out the border or the edge die in just white cardstock, and then I got the same ink as that and just inked it and then stuck it on to the envelope there. And then for this, there were 2 heart dies included in that card making die set, so I just picked out any random stamp. I wasn't particularly worried about it, so I stamped on the white piece. So both of these were cut from white pieces of cardstock, but again I just used that same ink to colour the big heart, and then I put the little heart on the big heart, stuck it down with some foam, like to give it some dimension, put a pretty bow on, couple of gems, and that's it. So all we need to know now is if the card actually fits in here, but knowing my luck, it probably won't. And it does. Well, at least something's gone right. So apart from that horrendous blunder that I made with that edge die, I think it's turned out okay. So I am quite happy with that die set, and it is going to be easier making cards and envelopes because there's absolutely no measuring involved at all. Everything's cut perfectly first time, so to my mind there's going to be less waste, because anything left over I'll just use for other things, for sentiments and things like that. So whether or not this has been useful to you, I do not know. But whatever the reason you've stayed with me, thank you so much for giving me a portion of your day. I really appreciate it so much. Thank you again for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye now.